Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to the first FCS team meeting for KP Publishing Universe. Um, Turn your cameras on if you can. We want to see everyone's smiley, happy faces here. And welcome to a whole new world of basically, developing for publishing. So I just want to kind of give a little quickie on the meet and greet agenda. So this is basically a meet and greet. We're going to be introducing ourselves, just kind of getting to know each other as team members, and then we're going to give brief introductions from the KP team and then from yourselves as well. Try to limit the introductions to 30 to 60 seconds because we have quite a few people in here. And then we're going to get into the describing the basic process of how this whole entire thing works and how this collaborative model will pan out, and it is something that has never been done before, which is the beauty of this thing. So we're going to be making up some really awesome things as we move forward. Then we're going to talk about royalties and copyright, because I'm sure that's first and foremost on all of your minds, besides changing the world, which is on my mind. And then talk about how you guys are going to communicate moving forward, and then next steps. So we want to basically start off with Ashley. Ashley Nielsen is the person who contacted you initially, sought you out on Facebook and whatnot, and she is your team leader. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Ashley.
Sure. So it's pretty much all laid out right here, but I'll be pretty brief. I am family and consumer sciences. You're all probably pretty familiar. I went to the University of Minnesota. I taught for 6 years in a small town in Minnesota, did the every grade one person department deal. And then I got hired by National FCCLA. I moved out to DC. I worked out there for almost 5 years. Working for teachers there. And then currently I'm working for NIE, writing curriculum and doing some other curriculum pieces, as well as consulting on a National Family and Consumer Sciences grant, and hoping to enter back into the classroom this fall.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Ashley. And what do you look forward to most working together with these magnificent teachers here?
I look forward to seeing the creativity and what comes out of all of your amazing minds.
Yeah, absolutely. So because this is going to be a collaborative process, and we're going to try to find the best of the best. So that's okay. So now moving on to the support team. So at KPPUBU, we have basically 3 members who will be available to help you out through this process. My name is Nai Wang. I'm the CEO and business director. So I'm basically the founder of this program. Many of you probably seen my products before in the past in the culinary arts, family consumer science, foods and nutrition, food science world. But basically my entire mantra is to take education to the next level. So when I entered curriculum development, I wanted to include gamification and artificial intelligence and build all this stuff. And we did that 10 years ago before everyone else did. So now it's the common thing that people talk about, say, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. And the whole entire thing is like, we did it. And now let's see what we can do with this technology and expand it into multiple realms. And that's why KPPUBU was birthed, was so that you would have the opportunity to then utilize the technologies that we created to further go further into other subject areas that we have not done personally, because we're pretty good with culinary arts. Anyway, so moving on to Dr. Ian Jukes.
So really quick, the classroom teacher, taught every grade from kindergarten through to grade 12, 6 months teaching kindergarten, 7 years in rehab after the fact, vice principal, district coordinator for gifted and talented, district coordinator for technology, provincial coordinator in British Columbia for distance learning and technology, taught at the university level for 7 years. I've made over the course of the last 20 years, I've worked in 49 states, 9 provinces, 82 international countries, made more than 12,000 presentations. I'm the author or co-author of 29 books and 9 educational series. And I'm just having a new book published next week on student voice. And that's it. I'll leave it at that.
And what is your role here with KPPUBU?
Well, according to you, I'm the publishing director, but so my job is a really good question you asked that quite seriously. My job is not to be the curriculum expert. My job is to help you guys become better writers so that you can, in the end, create really high quality products and perhaps even have these things published by a publishing firm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna be training you up. All right, Dr. Nikki Mohan.
Hey, greetings, guys. I cannot talk as fast as Ian, so I may go over 60 seconds. He's Canadian, you can tell. I'm a global citizen by choice. I was born and raised in South Africa and moved to New Zealand for 25, going on to 30 years. And now I share my time between New Zealand and Canada. My role in KPPUBU is actually the PD and curriculum director, the professional development and curriculum director. I have been an educator in my entire life. I've been in the classroom sector. I've trained as a high school teacher, and I've also taught primary. I've been administrator at a very large school in Auckland, New Zealand. I've also worked in the business sector as learning and development manager. That is where designing curriculum for vocational tutors and trainers. That would be your vet, your culinary arts, your hairdressers, your automotives, you name it, we did it, and train them and train the trainers model. I've also been university leader, where I was the leader of the maths department, where we embedded math in the vocational courses. So that was a special field that I was designated to carry out. I'm now currently, I've also been, directed a team of writers, very much like yourself, but we play, that was for the 21st Century Fluency Group, where we embedded all those critical skills that you call like problem solving and creativity and all of that into unit plans, into lesson plans. So that was a team of 22 international writers. Mostly I had people from the US, and I walked them through writing these units. Above that, I am currently part of the core committee of UNESCO, and we're looking at 2030 and how AI can support the role of teachers. I'm also we just launched, I was the lead consultant in designing the platform, the e-learning platform for UNESCO IIT branch. And that will become available to the public as soon as we've got feedback from our countries, partnering countries, and their ministries. So that was very exciting. We just launched that last week. Over and above that, I'm really excited to work with this wonderful team, looking at your bios, what Nai had to say. That's my passion, is actually to work together with people, collaborate, and just as Ashley said, become innovative and creative. And I'm so excited that you're part of this team, and that I am actually honored to be part of you and just support the whole process. So that's me. Sorry,
Nikki, you forgot one thing, Nikki.
Yeah.
Are you a writer?
Oh, yeah, I did publish 5 books, including the award-winning. I said to Ian, he wrote 29 books. I wrote 1 book with him, and that won the international award in the education category. So there you go. I don't have to say anything else.
Very good. Thank you very much, Nikki. And she's going to lend her power, her expertise and experience to help guide us through this whole process. So, all right, so let's go ahead and welcome the Family Consumer Science team. So I just want to say that you guys are the founding group. So you're the first people to answer the call. And because of that, you are what we call the founding team. So which will basically let you become key decision makers on how this whole entire project will be formulated. And the best part about this whole process is, working with Ashley, is that you'll get the first picks as well, because other people will eventually hear about this and they'll say, hey, I want to join, and you'd be like, oh, well, we only have these other areas left to choose from. So you guys will get the to pick the choicest cuts of the.
And can I just add to that, Nai? The fact that you put your hands up, it's not like you're waiting to see, people always want to model on what they can see and what happens. You're actually paving the way. And that's just amazing. So we applaud you for that.
Mhm. Yeah, because later on there are going to be more people posting about this. FCCLA is going to be posting about this, so there'll be people hearing about it from that realm as well. But you guys, took the plunge. So I want to congratulate all of you and give you a round of applause for being the do the sign language version of that, being here and in this meeting here as well. And for those of you watching the video, we wish you were here. All right, but because now we get to introduce each other ourselves. So basically, I want you to give kind of like a little brief introduction. Tell us like why did you join? What do you anticipate from this this thing that we're doing? And I'm going to be pulling up basically all the people who applied. Now, a number of you are not here, so do you see the document now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, good. Just making sure. And basically, I'm going to scroll through this list, and once we come to your name, go ahead and unmute yourself and chime in on the thing. So right now, we have number one. We have Tracy. And the only reason I'm pulling this up is so that people who are watching the recording, they could see this as well, and see who is also part of the founding team as well. So Tracy here, I don't have everyone's names on the list here. All right, then we have Shannon.
I thought Shannon was here. Yep,
Yeah.
Shannon's here.
I am here. Do you need me to introduce myself?
Yes, yeah. Introduce yourself and say a little bit about why you're here and what do you hope to create.
Oh, yeah, Tracy's here. She's typing in the chat right now.
Okay.
Let me go chase Tracy and then we can turn it back over to you.
Okay, I didn't see that.
So I'm Shannon Sheldon and I am an educator in Las Vegas, Nevada, where I was born. And I'm a military kid, so I've lived all over the United States, but I've been an educator for 21 years. I just finished year 21. I spent 17 years teaching fashion design and fashion merchandising, but I've taught many different family and consumer sciences subjects, such as foods, independent living. I've taught interior design for several years, teaching and training. And I am currently a magnet theme coordinator for, I'm just now leaving a CTA and I'm moving to the high school that I graduated from and trying to build up a magnet school within a school concept. And I am participating because there's never enough good stuff for fashion teachers. And I want to be a part of that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Shannon. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's go to Tracy.
Tracy, you can't hear you.
No, I think your microphone is not working currently. That's probably why you didn't pop up when I called for you. So you might need to
Reboot.
leave and join again or something like that.
Or maybe just quit Zoom and come back again.
Yep. All right. So while she's gone, and let's move on to Linda. Is Linda here? No, I don't see Linda on the list, but this is Linda's entry. So she has done a lot of stuff. So I won't read it all, but and we have Maggie. And we don't have a Maggie on the list. So I actually have the list up now. So there's Maggie. It's part of the team who applied. Then we have Aren, who I don't believe is here as well. And then we have Carlisle. Carly, sorry, my bad. 7 years of health science. There we go. Let's hope that
Tracy's
connected. Oh wait, no, that's not Tracy. That's Paula. Okay. You're using a different person's computer. That's probably why.
Yay.
Looks like someone just left. Okay,
No, her audio started.
no, someone disappeared from the list. Okay, hello, Paula. Welcome to the. Wait, that's not Tracy though. That's a new person. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we had a problem with Tracy. So we have Katie, who has 11 years of teaching experience. Then we have Rayan. I know she's out of California, mostly a culinary arts instructor. And we have Julie, Alyssa.
Wow, quite the list.
Yeah. Then we have Bridget, and this is what Bridget had to say about herself. And then we have Marissa.
I thought I saw Marissa here. No. Okay, no.
Kelly Smith, who I know really well, worked with her for over a decade in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm sure some of you probably know her pretty well from here. Then Paula Anderson.
Yeah, we have Paula here.
Paula is here.
Hey, Paula.
Tracy is back.
All right, Paula. So Paula, if I don't think you were here earlier, but we're giving a brief introduction about yourself. And basically it's 30, 60 seconds. Tell us about yourself and you know, why you joined and what do you anticipate from this experience?
I was in here earlier. I was the PA 702. I was just
Oh,
in my
okay.
car
Okay,
and I
good,
had
good.
to kind of get
I thought-
set up because
I thought I
broke my
recognized your forehead.
ankle. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I broke my ankle, so it's hard for me to get in and out. So I
Oh.
kind of come and go.
Okay.
I've been in education now over 10 years. I used to own my own vocational school. Now I teach for CCSD. I teach business and marketing. And I work along with DECA, FCCLA, FBLA, and Skills USA. I do a lot. So I have a lot of different things going on and that's it. I've been with CCSD since 2015 though.
Awesome. And what and why did you join and what do you anticipate to?
Sorry, it's to build more of my curriculum writing experience and I hope to, you know, be able to give what I also know.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And Tracy, is your audio working?
I think so. Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
I ditched the computer and went to the phone. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I'm Tracy Etherton. I've been teaching secondary family consumer sciences for 32 years. I left the classroom this spring and I'll be working with a teacher ed program in the fall at a university. I'm excited about that. But I'm kind of a curriculum nerd and I love the writing part of it. And so when this opportunity came along, I was really excited to maybe do that. I have some experience doing that actually with a team. We worked with Take Charge Today financial education curriculum for several years before they, I guess, redesigned the structure of that program. And since that time, I've been kind of looking for something to do in that arena again. And I'm really excited to be a part of this team. So thanks for the opportunity.
Well, that's awesome. We love curriculum nerds and you're gonna get your fill here because we're gonna be not only designing curriculum, but we're gonna be taking it to the next level. So whatever is in your craziest imagination, we're gonna try to make happen.
Excellent.
Awesome. And that experience will also come in handy too, because then you could help relate some of the things that you've done with what we're trying to do here. So. All right, great. All right, so now let's move on. We have Carrie who signed up and there we go.
So I'm Carrie Ketchum and I've been with CCSD 11 years, but 4 I was subbing. I've taught for 17 years. Let's see. So I graduated from ASU. I've taught in Arizona and Illinois and then in Nevada. I'm currently teaching foods, and I was teaching early childhood, and I had a great curriculum for early childhood. I loved it. Put my heart and soul in it. I basically did it myself, most of it. But they canceled that, and they have me teaching foods. And other than foods 1, which I'm good at, the other 2 levels are just really hard, and I'm having a hard time getting everything to flow. So I thought this would be really good to help me with that curriculum.
Yeah, but not to mention that the other thing that you've worked on and developed can also become a thing as well. So that's one of the things that we are looking for, is what experiences you've done so far, and kind of piggyback off that.
Well, my early childhood curriculum for the 3 levels, it is so good. It's hands-on. It is so good. My students that have gone through those programs, they have just told me how much it's helped them. I have a student now she's in the daycare at EOS Fitness, and it's so fun because the things that we did in class, she's bringing to her job, and she's also going to UNLV. But it's really fun that they're taking what I taught them and they're applying it. They're using it.
Awesome. That's the kind of stuff we love to hear. Very good.
But now I got to do that for foods. So
yes, absolutely. All right. So now let's move on to Samantha. And I don't see Samantha here on the list. So this is what she's done. 24 years of teaching. And I don't have Annie on here because you've actually applied in a different process, so we don't have a actual bio for you. So Annie.
Thank you, Nye. Yes, I'm here to check in what you do, because I think when I first approached you was like, I don't know, maybe last year, like October.
Yeah, this for math, but this is unrelated to that.
Yes, but that's the time when I was looking for publishing. So end up like over these period of time, I actually started the development myself, like building the team. So like, I guess today is like to check out what's happening here, because I can't remember when I submitted. It's when you first mentioned about like KPP.
It was a while ago. A while ago, yeah.
Yes, so because that's the time when I was looking, and now I have started the development like with the team. So I don't know how like this platform is going to help me. And then also I'm not in the public system, right? Like my program is for children 4 to 12 years old, and it's been an after school mental math training program, which they don't teach at school. So yes.
Yeah, and the only reason I think that you might fit in here is because you have other areas of expertise, and even though you may not do the things that you do within the structure, there may be other things that you may offer as well. So definitely open to those things as well, because I know what you're doing in the mathematics world is actually quite stellar and unique. But you did mention, I think, in your bio that you had other areas as well. So let's just go ahead and but you're also in Canada as well.
Yes, I'm in Canada.
Awesome. And oh, cool. Cody has just joined us. Anyone else here that was not part of this list? Because I know there might have been some people who have
I was on the list, but I left for just a second.
Oh, okay. So we totally skipped you. So where are you?
Katie Schindler.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Go. All right, let's go ahead and hear your introduction.
Hi, I have been a teacher in Waukesha for 11 years. I started at the high school, and I had done, I did 2 years there, and now I've been at the middle school level for 9. So primarily focus on foods, and then also some like child development and like life skills stuff thrown in there. So that's my main focus.
All right, awesome. And why and what?
So I just finished my master's degree last year in curriculum and instruction. So hoping to apply some of that. I like the writing process of curriculum, so I thought this would be a good fit.
Very good. Thank you very much, Katie,
Yeah.
for joining the team. Now, we do have another person, Cody, who was actually not on this list because I've known her for a couple of years now, and she applied through a different method and or direct messaging. So Cody, we're giving brief little introductions. We also recorded this session, so you'll get a chance to review what you missed in the past half hour of everyone else. This is basically a meet and greet, and we're looking to see if you could turn your camera on and give a brief 60-second or so. But since we don't have like any text on the screen, you could go a little longer if you like. Just talk about a little bit about yourself, your teaching experience, and why did you join, and what do you expect? What do you want to accomplish from this experience? So. Are you there? Oh, wait, there we go.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm having some trouble with my connection today. You know how my internet is. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, very cool.
So I think it does better without my camera, so we'll try that.
I do understand your situation, so go ahead.
Okay. So I have been teaching this. I'm going into my 14th year. I have taught pretty much every pathway that's offered under FCS in those 14 years for a brief, short period of time, mostly focused on culinary arts and food service. I've done about 8 years in child development, child care services, and introductory facts essentials. And so I'm just really excited to be a part of something. I am starting a college and career readiness certificate degree through Western Kentucky University this year. So I'm just like she was, I'm kind of hoping to apply some of those things as well. I really enjoy curriculum and being a part of that. And I really am a fan of KP and what it's been able to do for me in the classroom. So I like the opportunity being available to help with that and develop that into something further.
Awesome. Yeah. And yeah, so Cody is a seasoned KP user, so she's going to take some of that experience in as well and expand it into the other areas. So, okay, so it looks like we just had Julie join us. So Julie, we're actually just finishing up our introductions. This is basically a meet and greet, so the teachers can meet each other and see who's part of the team. We've all given our brief introductions. This has been recorded, so you can see it later. But if you can give like a 30-60-second intro about yourself and why you joined and what you anticipate out here out of this experience, then we'll go ahead and take it away. Let's see if I have you. There you go. There's your.
Am I, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know for sure. I set my alarm for 3:30 thinking the meeting was at 4. So I apologize for that. Yeah, I just retired for the second time. Most of my teaching experience in family and consumer sciences has been in public education. The last 3 years has been at a private Catholic school. My strengths probably fall in the personal finance area, foods and nutrition, and well, I guess I'll just say sewing, but I'm more kind of that hands-on kind of project-oriented, fabric-related kinds of courses. I wanted to join the Zoom call today, just really more to find out what it is you're looking for, what it is you're hoping for. So, thank you.
All right. I won't go into great detail, but thank you very much for joining us and exploring what could be potentially a groundbreaking new model. So earlier we mentioned, that you are part of the founding team So you could go back and review that portion of the video. But to respect everyone else's time, we're going to move forward with basically the next item on the agenda. So, but thank you very much, everyone, for your brief introductions. It's great to see everyone and get to know a little bit more about yourself. We're all very excited here. So moving forward, let's go ahead and go on to the next. So basically, it is our mission to empower teachers to collaborate, create the next generation curriculum. And we want to do this as a collaborative process. So I think that whole collaborative process is what's really unique that isn't really seen by other publishing companies or in the industry. And that's one thing that we're going to do. So right now we're pretty much a team of 20, but in the end, it might end up being a team of 100 because of how vast and differentiated the FCS world is. So the way that I see it is that this is the starting point, but it's going to expand and balloon.
Yeah.
And I think the other most important thing is our vision here, unlike the other publishing models, is that we want to share the wealth. So rather than having you guys slave over the authoring process and getting very little return, we feel that if you guys get more rewards, then we get better outputs and also additional the dedication too. So and continued as well. So I'm going to give a quick overview of the process here. This should only take a few minutes to run through. But basically, the first thing we do is we build an outline, and basically the outline will be based off of a lot of the standards that have already been out there. So basically, the team, the first thing we're going to do is you're going to research the standards and competencies that are found around the United States and even in Canada. Identify what media assets are needed. Sorry, Ian. And then from that outline, you can segment into mini products. So the example of that is, given our roots in culinary arts, I'm going to pop open the culinary arts outline. So this is basically, for those of you who used the culinary arts curriculum, who are part of this group, I know that there are quite a number of you. So this is basically how we started formulating our products. So we had those major divisions, and then all those sub chapters. So it's very simple. And you'll have this as an example. So we have 18 what we call chapters, if we want to use a book analogy, and then within each chapter you have subtopics. So these are all the different major needs. And then we took what we had there and then broke it down even further into the competencies and whatnot. So it's really a very simple process. A lot of this information is already out there, but it's just a matter of coming together, identifying what's in each state, and then unifying that into a national alignment in a way. Okay, so then the next part is, then as a team, you want to identify what's already existing within the group. What do you have done already? Any books, writings, articles, anything that you've already done from your experiences? Any videos you created during the pandemic can also be useful. Activities, labs you created. So some of you said that you created some amazing curriculum in other fields that you've taught in. And this is basically when you can bring these things to the table as well. And then we get into the meat of the team, which is basically the content creation stage. So this is when you divvy up the sections that are identified in the outline. So you can say, hey, I'm great at this. I would like to use do this section, and one person can take another section, and then we can kind of distribute the workload. Then at that stage, then you start to look at second tier recruitment. So once you've kind of decided what you want to take on, then we can say, okay, let's go ahead and pull in some more teachers and more voices, and also create higher levels of diversity, because right now we're pretty heavy in Nevada, but we do want to have more diversity and representation from other parts of the country if not the world as well. So then we go into a second tier recruitment phase. Then we identify specialists. So after you've done what you can do, there's certain things that may require some very specialized industry professional. Then we start to court them. So while this whole thing is going on, we have an authoring support services offered by Dr. Ian Jukes, and then we which we'll discuss a little bit more in depth later. And then we will go and incorporate it into the KP framework. So a lot of you have already used it. As Cody mentioned, it's something that's worked really well for her classroom, and we want to replicate that into other things. So right now we're going to spend a few minutes talking about royalties and copyright, because I think that's probably one of the things that people are most curious about. So anybody in this room have had any experiences with working with other publishers that dealt with royalties and copyrights other than Ian? And anybody else here, go ahead and unmute yourself if you have. Just want to kind of hear what you have experienced, if any. If none, then we will move on. I think maybe one of you mentioned something pertaining to that.
I have experience with just other publishers, and it kind of depends on what you're doing. With like one publisher I worked with, it was, instead of royalties, it was just a set price, and I have a lot of regrets about that. So I guess it just kind of depends on like percentages and stuff, but every company is a little bit different.
Okay. Regrets. that's we hear that a lot with the authors. Okay, anyone else? No one? Okay. Well, then let's talk about like the industry standard and Ian's experience. So in a typical setting, if you were to be asked to write a book or write a portion of a book, what would normally happen if you were like to go with like Pearson or McGraw-Hill or any of the other publishers?
You want me to answer that?
Yes, honestly.
Well, if you're just starting out, typically you would get 5% of net 1 year at the end of 1 year sales. So what that means is you're probably making, 25 cents, maybe 30 cents an hour for the time that you put in there. After you've done it enough times and you won a few awards and things like that, like some of the books that we have right now, we're getting 20%, but that we've sort of had to earn that. And that's why this model you have is as interesting as it is, because this is a far more democratic and equitable model that you're promoting.
Mm-hmm. Very true. So so they do it off of net sales, and that one of the things that I learned throughout my years as a digital publisher is that when you have great people come on and you have a mission and a dream, and it's the people who make the difference, you want to also reward them accordingly. So when this idea started, and I'm like, well, let's try to do this, but let's try to keep it from being top heavy and bloated. Like, so these other companies, they have like, all these CEOs who make millions of dollars, blah, blah, blah. We wanted to try to keep it more grassroots and more grounded. And so I don't know if you read this on the website where we have it described, but basically the whole entire idea is let's go ahead and let's devote 25% of gross sales. So that means 25% of
lots more.
So we're already not only going above and beyond what the typical is, we're going at least 5 times the amounts that would be normally given to any author. And that whole entire process is that so that because you're going to be working together as a team, and we don't need to be heavy all these like top heavy mechanisms that take.
Nye, can I just add to that? And it's not just being top heavy, but also this, it relates indirectly to the royalties you receive. So companies like Cohen or Solution Tree, work all in the same in a way that, as Ian pointed out, 1 year after the fact, then you start getting royalties. Then the marketing is an issue. You actually do quite a lot of the work. They do very little to market. But the biggest hindrance in this day and age is that they are so traditional in the way they publish. They're very traditional, and moving to a digital platform is just like night and day, because you can change research as it comes. You can insert pictures, photographs, stories, change things like overnight when it's in a digital format. And who today wants to buy a hard copy? And remember also with the publisher, we're working on a really quick time frame as well.
Turnaround, yeah.
Yeah, turnaround. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Ian. So with publishers, I mean, you have such a rigid process as well. Like your start date, then a year out, your book is published. By then, 3/4 of the book is
It's out of date.
outdated. Yeah, so it's as I said, it's the process as well that actually indirectly relates to the royalties. So with this one, it's a quick turnaround. It's the platform that we're using, digital as opposed to traditional, but also just the whole structure. You're getting, and also the very important thing is with companies like the big publishing companies, you don't get support at all. Let me be
No.
very honest. Nobody guides
No.
you through the process.
Yeah,
You
can I-
actually,
Oh, sorry, Nikki. Can I add just one thing that's related to that? It's really important. And that is, the other part of it is when you work for a typical publishing company, they own what you write. And to the point where we had a book recently where we had Steve Wozniak, who was the co-founder of Apple, write the foreword, and the publishing company told us that his intellectual property belonged to them. So the model you've created here, where the writers maintain the copyright, is absolutely huge and completely unique.
Yes, I did forget to mention that in the.
Sorry to interrupt you, Nikki.
yeah, I forgot what I was going to say, but I think that was a really important point about the copyright thing, because you got to get release. You're so binded by legalities and agreements when you publish through these big companies. So getting your rights for back is a big process.
Oh,
and
boy.
until they sell the last copy and all of that, so it's huge. And I can't say how much I appreciate this model because of just how fast things change, and you want to add in new stuff, you can just go ahead and do so. And also working collaboratively, that's a big plus, because with publishing companies, they want to screen you, they want a big CV, and by the time you go through the proposal stage, the book is you already lost momentum, enthusiasm, and all of that. You just
a lot
lose
of
it.
time.
Yeah, it's all time. Yeah. So yeah, and the two big things are like actually getting somebody like Ian to hold your hand through, take you through the process. As Ian stated earlier on, I mean, I will be involved in the curriculum part of it, and looking and giving you some collaborating with you, not giving you ideas, and enhancing what you do. Is that you don't have that luxury with
No.
a company. They just expect you to get the things done. So I like this. I really think you're getting value for your efforts and your time. And we can really, change the world and change teaching.
Yeah.
So
right.
that's what
And there's
I'm excited about.
There's no model like this anywhere that I know of. There's just not, and I've published with at least 5 or 6 major companies.
Very good. So we wanted to kind of give you like this this understanding because not many people know that unless if you published before, that it's ruthless and devastating.
It's brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, like you spend all your blood, sweat, and tears, you create something amazing, and then the publishing company doesn't even market it.
No, that's
Yeah. So anyway, so I wanted to cover that really strongly here, is that that's one of the things that we want to differentiate ourselves with this model, is that we want to treat the people right, and the more and you contribute little, you contribute a lot. It's just it's all part of a collaborative process. So any questions on this, anyone? And I forgot to mention earlier that if you had any questions at all, feel free to add something in the chat as well. So but if there are no questions here, then we can move on to the next slide. All right, so because of this, because you are founders, you're the future leaders of KPPUBU. So basically, right now, the scope is we're going to create something within that's cover kind of like a broad overview of facts, FCS. But then, like what we know of FCS, you can go in depth into so many different areas as well. So, if you're really great at early childhood, you could become the leader of the early childhood
Cohort.
team, a cohort, or college career ready, or any of the other ones that we have. There's so many. So basically, you'll be going through and learning.
And I like that in this group. Sorry, Nai, that
Yep.
we have that spread of early childhood and,
Variety.
yeah, so such a nice variety. I really like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing is you're going to be trained. We're going to be giving you mentorship courses and lots of professional development on how to design these things. And you're going to take that knowledge and then you could then lead other teams as well. And it doesn't even have to be family consumer science related. Actually, you could say, hey, we're going to be forming the carpentry team, and we need somebody to lead that team. Even though you might not have any experience in carpentry, you could become their team leader and help them guide through the process. So that's what we're saying is like, the things that you're going to be learning can also extend into other potential projects as well. And you guys are the core group, the initial people who are part of this startup. So be excited about that. Okay, so then the other thing is we're going to be primarily using Google Drive. So I'm sure everyone's familiar with Google Drive here. And basically with Google Drive, we have a folder for a repository of all the information. So I'm going to pop that up here. So this is the Google Drive folder that we will be sharing with you and adding you to it as well. And basically, this is where we're going to be placing the information, the outlines, and all other assets as well moving forward. So if anyone's not familiar with Google Drive, please let us know and we'll try to get you up to speed. But the beauty about Google Drive is that we could share it, we could peer review. We have history, redundancy, and you can comment on each other's work because this is a collaborative process, and we want to make sure that that we're all working together towards this end.
Can I just add one thing to that, Nye? I can tell you that for the last probably 15 books that I've been involved in, when I've been working collaboratively with people like Nikki and people all over the planet, and what we do is we get on into Google Docs, and we get on Zoom or Skype or whatever, FaceTime, whatever, and we actually talk and we walk through the documents and edit them on the fly. It's called snow plowing. It's a highly, highly effective way, and you just keep going through the document again and again and again. So that's why Google Docs is so useful for us, because we can have 1, 2, 3, we can have a multiple number of writers all working on the same document at the same time and seeing the changes that are made.
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah, and you can be anywhere in the world, because
Yes.
I wrote my first book without even meeting Ryan Schaff face to face. So we wrote, Making School a Game Worth Playing, using digital games in the classroom. And we met for the first time when the book was published.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, cool. So we only have so I'm going to skip this section here because we can talk about it later. But Dr. Juice has a doctor's appointment that he has to run to, unfortunately, in 5 minutes. So we're going to go to his section next. So we're going to skip the overview of KP, and we're going to come back to that. And we're going to talk about the KP production course, which is actually part of Nikki's mandate that she's doing here.
Want to take it away, Nikki?
What you guys want me to talk about there?
Oh wait, so basically the course, actually, let's start with Ian with what you're going to do with the support services.
Well, essentially, I'm going to do 2 things. The first thing is I'm going to walk people who have not been through the writing process, at least when it comes to publishing. I'm going to go through it step by step with you, with mini lessons and activities that will allow you to become skilled in those areas. And in the very same way that the first book that I wrote, I had somebody hold my hand as much as I needed every step of the way. I'll be there to work with you either independently or I'll work with you collaboratively to take you through the process. We'll set deadlines. We'll go through the process. You'll do your writing. I'll help you review your writing. I'll make suggestions for changes. We'll have a conversation about it, and then we'll move forward. So the whole idea here is it's like having a real-time reactive coach who will be there to walk you through the process and help you every step of the way.
Very good.
That
So
yeah, and just one thing to be in mind is that you guys are the experts in your field.
Yes.
Content wise, collectively and individually, you are amazing. So we're not here to teach you that, or we're not here to say, yeah, we're gonna tell you what to write and whatever. This thing is a process, as Ian said. So we're gonna just take you through the process. And I mentioned this, that our process is very different, very supportive. So we're going to be there guiding you through the process. The first time round, very, very like lockstep. Second time when you're doing it, you're writing your second units, you're just going to go for it by yourselves or with your team. And after that, you're on your own. The more you write, the more you have in the bank in terms of your royalties. You can start leading teams, because it's not about the content and the subject matter, it's about the process. Once you know that, you'll be great.
excellent. And to basically finish off, we're gonna be sending a kind of like a getting to know you survey, which we'll share at the end of this meeting, and it's going to provide you a lot of mentorship opportunities at the same time. So this is going to be a really good value added process. And then Nikki is going to be putting together some professional development and seminars starting in August for people to do. And it's going to be a collaborative, like hands-on, like meeting to get together to learn more pedagogy and other strategies and things that she's going to be adding on top of that. So
yeah, and these will be a variety of topics, a range, so if you want to attend, you will definitely get something out of it that you can take away and use. So basically it's just something added value for you being part of this team.
Yeah, and actually one thing that I didn't put on the slide is that eventually we're going to turn this into such a vast group, from all the teams, from all the different disciplines, and then we're going to have a conference. Wouldn't that be fun? So that's also in the works as well. Okay, so then
just be grateful you're part of the first team.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be there at the conference.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna be so I think that's everything between Ian and Nikki that you need to speak on. Is there anything that you like to say before you leave?
No, and I know I said this many times, but I'm super excited, and I really like working with educators that range from early childhood to however vocational to tertiary to wherever. I'm just super excited, and I just can't wait to get started and learn together, because there's so many experts here in their own areas and their fields. So yeah, just excited.
And I got into this business because I was speaking at a conference in Portland, Oregon, and a guy came out of the crowd and said, "I want you to come and work with me." And I said, "Who the hell are you?" And he said, "My name is Dr. David Thornburg," who at that time was the rock star in education and the use of technology in the classroom. And David literally held my hand and showed me how to write a book. And I'm paying this forward. This has nothing to do with money for me. This has everything to do with trying to pay forward what people like David did for me, and to, you can do this. You may have not done it before. We'll take it one step at a time. We'll take baby steps, and we'll get you to the place where you will be able to absolutely stand on your own and do this by yourself. That's my guarantee.
Awesome. Anybody have any questions for these two before they have to take off?
Anyone?
Yes, seriously, any questions, any comments?
And then we're going to talk about a few more things, which should only take about 10 more minutes to conclude. But this has been a great group.
Well, I apologize for having to run away, but we've been out of the country for 2.5 years because of the pandemic, and we have some catching up to do with doctors and things like that. So we're going to get out of here right now. So thanks. Nice to meet you guys. I hope I'll get the chance to work with you, talk with you on a one-to-one basis. I don't know if you're gonna, we're not going to use email, and you'll tell them why.
Yes. Yeah.
But if anybody wants to communicate with me, they know where they can
Write a
do that.
letter to him
Okay.
and mail it.
Talk to my attorneys. All right, I'm out of here. Goodbye, guys. Thanks for
Thanks,
taking
guys.
some time.
Nice meeting you, and we hope to see you soon. Take care.
Very good. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and finish these few points here, and then we could get get on our way. So one of the things is, like, communication best practices, and working together collaboratively as a team. Usually it's hard to get everyone on the same page. I've done this quite a few times in other projects as well. And number one rule is to not use email. I do not want to see people emailing each other back and forth about certain topics, because gosh dang it, that thing is full of junk anyway. And most of the stuff goes to spam now, so which is really awful. So like email just doesn't work. Texting is okay, but it gets a little annoying. And then Facebook does work as well. So I actually did set up a Facebook group, so you guys can chat there and communicate. You can share funny cat videos there as well. But the official communication we'll be using is Discord. So anybody here have any experience with Discord at all? Okay, not many people have, but it's actually a really awesome communication and collaboration tool, and it's very popular among gamers. So it has like a lot of these like awesome tools that gamers use. But we're going to be using the communication aspect of it, because what's really good about this process is that the Discord server allows for transparency. So that means that and actually just posted the Facebook group on the chat if you're not already part of it. So you can post your cat pictures there, or dog pictures.
Well, as email, or as Nye says, with email being irrelevant, the link that I shared in my previous email was broken. So hopefully this one works better.
Okay. And then so then we have, so it gives lots for transparency. So that means that the communications you're making on the Facebook Discord servers will also be available by other people. So it's very transparent, which is really good. It also archives the messaging as well, so we don't have to worry about that. And since you guys don't use it, it's very unique to KP. So when you get a notification from Discord, you know exactly where it's coming from and what it's for. Right now, if you're on Facebook, you go, oh gosh, I have 18 notifications today on on Facebook, then you have to wade through that noise as well. And they also have an app and a website. So I'm going to show you Discord here really quick, and kind of and I'm going to post it. So this is basically Discord, and it's very easy to use. So they're what we call chat channels. And basically, so you're going to be part of the FCS channel. So general is basically where everyone, any team member can chat. This will be where you guys will be writing messages, posting photos, but you could post document links, upload files, all that kind of stuff to be able to communicate. And as we add more teams, then we will be here as well. And you can see I have like other Discord servers from other things that I participate in, like esports leagues and things like that. So there's actually a lot of different communities that you could be a part of on Discord. So this is basically our community, KPPUBU. And because of the transparency, you can message other people from other teams and whatnot, and we can see this community grow. So it's very easy to use. I don't have to really say much more about that. All right, so that's Discord. Now, I know a number of you have already used KP in the past, so because this is part of the FCS team, and we have a very solid and strong foods and nutrition curriculum program that's already out there. But I'm going to give a very brief, like 2-3 minute overview about the technologies that we have, and then subsequent meetings, you're going to learn more and more about it, but you really don't need to know too much about it other than the fact that we have a mastery system that has a artificial intelligence engine built in to create a kind of like a personalized tutor. We built in gamification. We are heavily focused on project or problem-based learning. And also we want to do a lot of things hands-on. So we have a lot of labs and videos. So I'm going to pop over here to our program. So this is like our student who's enrolled in culinary arts. And also in addition to that, a Surf Safe certification course. And basically the tutor portion, I'm just going to talk about really quick here, is very key to personalized learning. And how this is accomplished is basically, you have these different topics in the forms of contaminants unit or module with these learning objectives. And then the student will go through and read about the big 6 pathogens, watch videos on bacteria contaminants. So this is basically the information consumption phase. And then after they're done with this process, then they would go and they would take a knowledge check and pretty much pretend that this is, if you were studying this and you say, hey, I just studied this information, I need to know how well I did. So you click on this button and you're engaging with a tutor. So this tutor actually has artificial intelligence built in, so that's saying that they have a history of you and also other students within your class as well. So they kind of pick out from this huge database of questions, what kind of questions to throw at you to kind of figure out your depth of knowledge. And then, so I'm going to go through and it's going to ask questions, true, false, multiple choice, short answer type style questions to kind of get an understanding of your knowledge. And at the end, I'm going to give you feedback. So this is like a basic feedback page. And it's just going to say like, hey, you did really well with parasites. Congratulations. I tested you out of that, but these other areas you didn't do very well in, especially food allergen and prevention. So you really need to spend more time studying those materials. So this kind of like personalized feedback is really what helped the students learn materials, and especially during lockdown and distance learning process as well, as Cody said before. And I know a lot of CCSD's teachers had this experience. So now the student will go back, they'll study these materials again, spend more time on food allergen, and re-engage with the tutor. Now, the second time around, it'll be different questions. There'll be questions tailored to the student's previous experience from that knowledge check. And then let's say 4 of these will turn green. So then they only have 3 left, 3 yellows and 1 red left. And then they go through this process called remediation, which is, as you know, one of the most difficult things to get students to do, but remediation is key to learning and mastery. And through gamification, this is basically how we accomplish that. And you can see we have like pictures here on the right under the award section. And every time they take an exam, they get a picture from a location that's already. So in this case, it's Hong Kong for this particular module. And it's different for every student. So another student might be in Egypt or something like that. And if they choose so, they can click on the link and I'll show them where the picture was taken. So they can do a little world geography building. So, and the awards are also tailored to how well they perform. So if they do really well, they'll be in front of a national monument that's recognizable. If they do poorly, they'll just be in front of apartment buildings, so on and so forth. So that's part of the gamification and mastery process. And then we also have activities and projects. Let's just show a quick one really here. So here's a project on how to write a biography. Here's one where the students get together and they pitch a show for the next Food Network. And then they have this badge that they earn. They have to go through these instructions. So these are all the things that we do. And then the student has to answer some reflection questions and whatnot. So then these are all the things that you'll be building as well within our system. So be building labs, activities, projects, and whatnot on top of building content and writing and doing videos. And because so we have the template, we have the format, and all you have to do is basically fill in the buckets and create the content. So that's basically it that I was going to show for the technology. There's a lot of depth to it. I could spend a good hour to 2 hours talking about that, but I'm not going to do that. But just suffice it to say that this is something that we've been working on for over 15 years. And when the pandemic hit, we were still able to get students certified in Serve Safe for managers, which is very difficult, even though they're not together in the classroom. So it's a very difficult certification because we provide them motivation, feedback, and the necessary tools to help them be a little more successful. So let's go ahead and go to the timelines and expectations really quick here. So basically, our aim is to turn this into like a 2-month production cycle. So what we have is we're going to be taking you through kind of like a 2-month process from beginning to end, and kind of like saying stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. So you'll have some guidance. I mean, obviously, we're probably not going to, hit it within 2 months, but basically that's kind of like the goal is to kind of walk you through this process. And our goal is to have something ready to kind of show by the end of summer. And since this is a collaborative process and it's going to be 20 of you working together, then you're going to have, you're going to have a lot of distributed workloads, which will hopefully be able to manage, and only take on the amount of work that you can handle. So don't like say, I'm going to do this like 5 chapters. No, the team will probably not let you do 5 chapters. So, because we have a lot of peer responsibility, because you're beholden on to each other. You want to take care of each other. You want to work together, and you want everyone to be successful. So then we're going to set milestones. You're going to have team meetings periodically to get together and discuss things, but I don't think it really is necessary. You're going to definitely have a few just to get the ball rolling, and then the rest can be done through Discord, through Google Drive. And then obviously KP will support you all the way along the way, because that's one thing that that's very unique in this industry, is that we're here to make you into professional authors, and then you could then become published by Pearson. I'm kidding, you probably don't want to do that. But anyway, so let's talk about the final steps. So the next steps here, I want you to we're going to send you a Discord link, and I'm going to put that in chat here very shortly, and also the link to the writer survey. So we're also going to post it on and actually it's probably going to email it to you, and hopefully you'll get it as well. And then so I'm going to post that right now. And basically the survey will let you take kind of like lets Ian know what your experience is, what you've done, and kind of like tailor make a really good training for you. So here we go. It's posted in chat. Bam. So obviously, if you have any issues with Discord, please reach out to me, and I'd be happy to. But it's very easy to use, it just like any other text messaging program that you probably have used before. And then the writer survey will be there, and do that as soon as you can, so that we can start formulating what's needed to help get you guys to the next level. And then Ashley's going to put together a kind of like a spreadsheet to figure out what are best times for everyone to meet. So you guys will figure that out, and then schedule your first meeting. Then you're going to start building that first outline, which is probably going to be a copy and paste job from lots of different sources. And then you're going to, from that, brainstorm your first product, because you're going to create this outline. It's going to be massively long, and you can say, let's focus on this particular aspects of it, and let's build that first as our first go around. And then you could also expand upon it, because that's the beauty of this whole term digital publishing model, is that like a book, you have to start from chapter 1 to 20 and have it all done before you hit the publish button. But let's say we only want to work on chapter 1 through 5 and 8 and 17. So we could say, let's build that, and then that could be then sold to teachers. And then let's start building these other chapters as well. So that's the beauty of this, is like, it doesn't have to be all done at once. It can be done in little bits and pieces, as long as it's determined that it is useful for the teacher, because obviously you don't want to make something that no one else wants to use. So and you guys are the best judge of that. So let me go ahead and stop the sharing here and go to full screen mode, so we can see everyone's happy faces. So with that being said, do we have any questions, conclusions? Are you guys excited about this? I want some feedback. Ashley, do you have something to say? Actually, you're the leader, so let's kick off with you, and tell us how you feel about this whole process and the team, and what you're going to be doing moving forward.
I just think timing is great. I think we have a really good group here. I think this is a really timely project. Just looking forward to seeing what the next steps are and seeing, like, I'm excited to see everyone's like specialties and like where we fall into.
Yeah, I know. So we definitely got a diverse group here, and really excited to see that. And I already see that 3 of you have already joined Discord, so you guys are really quick about that. Awesome. And then anyone else like to say something about this process? Cody, I know you missed half of it, but let's last one in, first one to chime in. Oh, and then Shannon raised her hand, and looks like Tracy just is.
I do. I have a question.
Yes.
While I would love to take your word for it and have a gentleman's agreement with you, where can we expect, or how can we expect a contract or something in writing regarding the royalties and our commitment, etc.?
Yeah, and that will be coming down the pipeline very shortly. We're going to have a terms of service agreement that will be issued to every teacher who's going to be involved. And basically it's saying that this is what we expect of you. You will own the copyright. You will, and within your team, you will be distributed X for your level of work. And that's something that is going to be full of lawyer jargon. Ugh. But yes, yeah, we will be protecting you and us quite thoroughly through this process, because this has never been done before, and this will be, and we want to make sure that everyone's protected. Yes, okay, very good. And and Annie's raising her hand. And did someone else raise their hand?
I have a question.
Yes.
So when you say we own the copyright, does it mean that like we can still publish the content somewhere else?
Yeah, we're not going to say exclusives. You could still do stuff with other people if you want to. I mean, we're not going to say no. I mean, to that. So if you have other opportunities, we're not going to limit you from that. But you're probably going to find more resistance from other people saying, "Hey, you're doing stuff with KP? We can't have you do that. We're going to need you to sign an exclusive with us."
No, just because I publish my own, right?
Yeah.
Like
So
I've
you
been
do a lot of
doing-
self-publishing. So yeah, so that means that you can still do your own stuff on top of this.
Okay.
Yeah, but working with other people, yeah, they're not going to be so friendly.
Yeah, no, it's like, like I said, I had started. Yeah.
And let's say you end up hating you hating me, hating everyone, and you're like, "I'm out of here." Yeah, then you could do that too. You can say, but we don't want you to be like that. We want to make you happy. We want to make you feel like you're valued, and that you'll never want to leave. So anybody else have a question or comment? I think,
I just want to brag again. Sorry, on KP just in general, because again, like you said, during the pandemic, it was a lifesaver for me. And for the first time, every single one of my students had 100% pass rate every single time for ServSafe, and the only common factor was using KP. And so I can see the outcome of this platform and this method for our kids. And I'm encouraging every one of you all to just remember that in the process, that it is about the kids as much as it's fun for us learning the curriculum and getting the royalties and all of those things. This is going to be a huge game changer for our kids. And so, I think if we're all teachers, that's where it's at. That's where our heart is at. And so I'm just excited to be working with everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, Cody, for that. Anyone else like to give your thoughts and feelings about this? Are you excited? Did we answer your questions adequately? Anybody? I'm gonna start calling out people if somebody doesn't volunteer. All right, Kate. I'm gonna call on Kate. Please, Kate.
Me?
Yeah, you.
What was your question?
Oh, what? Are you excited? And
Oh, yeah.
it's moving forward as we conclude this meeting. So I just want to kind of hear from everyone.
Yeah, I'm excited about like a flexible opportunity to collaborate with people because I have there's people at other schools and within my district, but I work a lot by myself. So getting feedback and collaborating is exciting for me.
Awesome, very good. Let's look at Tracy. Actually, you might be busy because you turned your camera. Oh, there you go.
I was trying to do the survey. Yeah, I am excited about the opportunity. I told you that I had a little experience with a real similar setup in the past, and it was really rewarding to just work with other people who were excited about the content too. And it was a very comfortable environment, and we didn't have to worry about feeling like someone was nitpicking our ideas. We were all just sharing things to make it better, and I really enjoyed that process.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that perspective there. Carrie? You're muted if you were talking, just FYI.
Yeah, I'm excited as well to learn how to do this and to work with everybody. I think it's going to be really fun.
Awesome. Paula?
I'm very excited to get started and work with everyone and especially gather other people's expertise.
Very good. And last, Julie. Oh, muted. Muted still, muted. Okay, there we go.
Okay. I'm still interested in learning more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling interested, but also anticipating my husband having a knee replacement surgery in a couple weeks. And I just got out of school 1 week ago. And so anyway, I'm pretty good I'm really well organized. I'm a good manager. And that's what I'm trying to kind of do with my life right now, short term. But I'm willing and interested in joining the first conversations and kind of see where this goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the beauty of this is like, you do what you can, and you don't have to feel like you're doing everything. And that's the beauty of this is like, in the past, you would have to do everything yourself, and this is like you could lean on each other in this whole entire group. All right, Ashley, do you have any final things to say, and then I'll conclude this meeting?
No, I think this has been really thorough. Thank you, Nye, for your knowledge.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm very excited. I've done this in the past. The Culinary Arts was birthed from a collaborative effort of half a dozen to a dozen actual teachers who got together and built it in our garage, so to speak. But so that means that, these things, can happen. And, if we have the dream, we have the vision. And the beauty of this is like, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've had this experience, and now I'm extending this whole up to other fields. So FCS, agriculture, marketing, we're going to try to take this model out into all these other realms and really make a difference in education. And you guys are spearheading this. You're going to be the first to be a part of this. And I'm very excited that you guys are on board. And for those of you who are watching the video, I'm sorry you weren't able to be here. We miss you, but we will look forward to seeing you in future meetings as well. Okay, so with that being said, I see that a lot of people have already signed up on Discord and are chatting away, so that's great. Now make sure to take your conversations to the FCS channel so that we could just, and then Julie, you have your hand up.
So what are the next steps after today?
Oh, you want me to put the slide back up? So basically, it's fill out the survey, figure out what your next meeting is together. So you're gonna figure out the best days and times for the whole team. So Ashley's going to put together a spreadsheet for that.
Okay.
Then you're gonna schedule a meeting and have at it. There we go. And it's gonna be really exciting. So looking forward to seeing what you guys will come up with, and we'll be here to guide you through the process. So with that being said, I really appreciate your time and your honesty and your enthusiasm. And I really hope that we will together create the next generation FCS curriculum in all these different fields, and then really make your dreams come true, but also make other teachers' dreams come true, because that's what we're here for, is to take everything we always wanted and the things that we never got from the vendors that we work with, and then say, yes, this is what I want, and we're making it happen. All right. So let's go ahead and do a round of applause for everyone here. We do the sign language, right? Yay. And then you all have a good rest of your evening. And I can't wait to see you guys again soon.
Thank you.